Hello everyone, my name is Danielle Brendel. I'm a 20-year-old collegiate athlete who has something in common with over 600,000 people in the United States. It is a disease known as the Polycystic Kidney Disease, or better known as PKD. This is a topic that I have spoken on before, but I've never paid much attention to. It has become a big part of my life, not only because I'm affected by it, because my family is also. Just a little background information on PKD and where it came from. The first documented case of polycystic kidney disease dates back to Stefan Batory, the King of Poland, who lived from 1533 to 1588. It was said in his autopsy that he had abnormal-sized kidneys and a ridged, bumpy surface all over. Dr. Richard Bright, an English physician, was the first physician who actually described polycystic kidney disease in the early 1800s. It's likely that many of the patients who were said to have suffered from the Bright's disease were actual patients of polycystic kidney disease. In the years 1994 and 1996, they discovered the locations and starting points of the chromosomes that were mutated by the disease. And in 2002, Dr. Peter C. Harris and his team of researchers at a clinic identified and fully characterized how the genes became affected by polycystic kidney disease. In the year 2008, the clinical trials for tavapadon were first used, and this tavapadon is a drug that has shown to be effective in preventing cyst growth in rodents. These results of the first clinical trial were not released until the year of 2012, which said that the drugs reduced the rate of increase in polycystic kidney volume, it lessened the symptoms such as pain, and it reduced the rate of kidney function decline. This is a graph here of showing all areas all over the world that are affected by polycystic kidney disease. And as you can tell, this big green area is only the people in the United States. So compared to the rest of the world, the United States has greatly affected more. What exactly is polycystic kidney disease, you might ask? It is one of the most common, life-threatening genetic diseases that affects thousands in America and millions worldwide. It is an inherited disorder which clusters of cysts develop on the kidneys. These cysts are non-cancerous round sacs containing fluids. They vary in both size and severity of the disorder depending on how far along it is. The cyst can grow to replace the kidneys, reduce the function, and can also lead to kidney failure. Not only does it affect the kidneys, but it also affects other organs such as the liver, the pancreas, the ovaries, or even the bowels. These here are just a few images of a kidney compared to something else. So right here is a polycystic kidney with the cysts all over, as you can see, varying in different sizes and shapes compared to a normal size football that we play with today. And this image right here is a normal kidney, which this one, versus a polycystic kidney disease with the cysts. And this image down here is an actual ultrasound of somebody who suffers from polycystic kidney disease. There are 3 different types of PKD: autosomal dominant polycystic kidney disease, ADPKD, autosomal recessive polycystic kidney disease, ARPKD, and a less common form which is known as non-hereditary polycystic kidney disease. ADPKD is the most common type of polycystic kidney disease. This is a hereditary condition in which the faulty gene is inherited from only one parent. The symptoms or problems usually start occurring around later adulthood. The treatments that have been used for this include antibiotics, therapeutic intervention, and kidney dialysis or kidney transplantation. As you can see in this image here, it shows that there's one parent who suffers from polycystic kidney disease and one parent who doesn't. So their children would have a 50-50 chance of one having PKD and the other not. The second form, autosomal recessive PKD, is a rare condition which affects 1 in every 20,000 people. The problems soon develop either right after birth or later on in one's childhood, but still early on. You need to have 2 faulty genes to develop this condition, and 1 faulty gene would come from each parent. Some other characteristics of this disease are hypertension, hepatomegalia, Potter phenotype, which is a short, stubbed-nosed, deep eye creases, and low-set, flattened ears. And as from right here, you can see that both parents are carriers of polycystic kidney disease, and the rate that their children would have it is very rare. There would be one child who would have the actual polycystic kidney disease, and they would have a chance of their child either being a carrier or being lucky enough not to have it at all. The non-hereditary form is something that's very rare in the world. It affects 1 in every 10 people who have it. This is where a faulty gene is just mutation. It just happens out of nowhere. So there is no family that is affected by it or anything like that. Some of the symptoms that for PKD include back pain, side pain, increased size of the abdomen, which is like a swelling look, blood in the urine, or bladder and kidney infections. High blood pressure is also a symptom of polycystic kidney disease and is actually the most common sign of polycystic kidney disease. This was actually how I found out that I was a carrier and have the disease, was because I went for a physical in high school for soccer, and instead of spending 30 minutes there getting my checkup, I spent an additional 2 hours just to find out that I have high blood pressure, which led on to multiple doctor's appointments, and after a few months I finally found out what was causing my high blood pressure. Unfortunately, there is no cure for a polycystic kidney disease, so they're working on preventing it. The goals of treatment for patients with PKD are managing and better controlling the symptoms, preventing progression of the disease, and basically enabling patients to maintain a good life and to prolong their life. There are a number of organizations, as you can see, that dedicate their time and work to preventing or treating polycystic kidney disease. These organizations have scientists who are determined to find cures, or just simply to help somebody like me understand what it is that's going on and why it happened. They host like numerous events to raise money for research opportunities, and on their websites they also have a lot of different suggestions for treatments, diets, or exercises, and there's many more helpful tools such as videos from scientists who are describing what is going on inside your body and what the kidneys look like after a certain period of time. Overall, I think it's pretty incredible how much they have made such an improvement in treatments for PKD. They have even had more success in being able to detect it early on, or even be able to prolong someone's life. For me personally, the doctors found it early enough to be able to treat it, although it can affect me more later on down the road. The only big change that I really had to make was the diet, and I had to watch my sodium intake because salt is a huge problem with kidneys and high blood pressure and just raising everything. I also needed to continue to work out, which is not a problem considering that I play soccer. But I cannot say the same for my father and my grandma. My grandma was diagnosed too late for them to be able to do anything, to do much for her, except for start her on dialysis. She was put on this dialysis and she fought for a long time, but she just became more ill every day, and you could tell. She passed away around this time last year because she was sick. My dad, he was really far along, but he became incredibly lucky because he had a donor who stepped up and donated her kidney to him, and so this past summer he went through the surgery and he's doing great today. Whenever someone hears the word disease, it's normal reaction to freak out or absolutely assume the worst. But you can never really jump to conclusions because these days anything and everything is curable or treatable. In this fact, treatable. Whether you are required to make a small change or even a big one, in the end, it'll be worth it, I promise you, because you will live a better life. You'll be healthier and happier. But for someone who does not even have a health issue, I would recommend still making these little changes, such as eating healthy, going outside for a walk, or anything, because even though you may not be sick, it can still help you be healthy and even prevent yourself from getting sick. It can lead you to a better and happier life. Thank you.